You're welcome to our Fitness channel. Please, we urge you to consider it necessary to subscribe to this channel so as to facilitate our growth of this very channel. Thank you and God bless you. May God bless Biafra and may God bless our brothers Oduduwa in Jesus' name.
The Southeast governors, because of their ambition, they want to sacrifice the whole of the Igbos. I posted something on Facebook when the governor of Anambra State, what's his Obiano, he said that if any Igbo man is killed by Fulani, they're going to pay a fine of 500,000. So he put 500,000 naira. So the head of an average Igbo man, according to Obiano's understanding, is valued at 500,000. So if the Fulanis can raise 1 trillion naira at 500,000 per head, you can be sure they're going to slaughter all of us and then pay him the compensation. Oh. I've never seen people as daft as Ohaneze, Southeast governors. They are the most unreasonable. I don't want to use any language that might sound, but believe me, they are very stupid. Nnamdi Kanu kept quiet for some time. It's no cowardice. It's a strategist. I believe in that young man. I'm a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. There is the difference between the gospel and speaking in respect to a vision somebody has for his people. He is not asking for money. He's not buyable. The old man has proved himself to be true, sincere. After the Ikemba, there has not risen any other person of the Igbo extraction as powerful, reasonable, reliable, and dependable like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Not even a single person. I don't believe in Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. I never believed in him. When I voted in 1979, we voted basically and purely on party lines. I was just 19 years old, so we voted for NPP. Remember, Zeke came into MPP and displaced Waziri Ibrahim, who later on formed GMPP, and with this thing, politics without bitterness. MPP never won that election. MPM won it. But after that, I stopped voting because I never trusted any Nigerian political leader. So far, and I've not been wrong, even Buhari, though I supported his coming, I didn't vote for him. You ask me why? The reason is I don't believe he can perform, but I said of the two evils, because of his historical antecedent, that he may be better. I read the story about Buhari, which somebody wrote. I read the whole book. I followed his distance. But if those things were smoke screens where we didn't see it, and now we have seen that that man is very terrible. And so when you see an Igbo man stand up against Nnamdi Kanu, that Igbo man does not love the Igbos. He's only interested in his political ambition, which will never come to pass. It's never going to happen. If you see a man of God who cannot speak the truth, Oyedepo came out plainly and has spoken against what's going on in the country. He's a Yoruba man. Which Igbo gospel minister has done that? They are still liaising secretly from behind with Ohaneze. If hopefully somehow presidency might come to the ways of the Igbo, then they will not just, you see how they connect and go to Aso Rock and begin to be part of the administrative process. It's never going to happen. Because the God of heaven loves the people that you are preaching to, even though they are unbelievers. And when they are being slaughtered indiscriminately and you cannot get up to talk and speak against evil, speak against violence in your land, you are a preacher. Whom are you going to preach to? Okay, you don't want to speak, you are preaching the gospel, but you keep on emphasizing on tithe. These guys don't have anything doing. The economic activity in Aba has been grounded. Where do they get the money to pay the tithe? You're only concerned with your vision, your empire, your ministry. As long as it begins to grow up, you're making money. Who cares about the members of the church? Those members have brothers and sisters that are being raped and violated. Oh, come on. Rise up, man. It hurts me. It's annoying me. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Look at my face. I'm talking. If it becomes expedient that we have to go back to the east to defend Igbo land, we have to do it. Because you cannot go and rape my mother in the village and tell me to come and start listening to all this trash you are talking. You can't go and rape my sister in the village and you expect me not to talk. The black Americans today could only talk because they had people like Martin Luther King Jr., who was a Baptist minister. He spoke, he stood and spoke for his people. That's why the blacks have rights. And when it comes to the African man, the Igbo man particularly, because of blind hunger for office and money, Ohaneze is a disgrace and it's a disappointment. They keep sabotaging Nnamdi Kanu from every aspect, from every dimension. This is a young man that God has raised. Why are we so blinded? We cannot see that this guy has something to offer. Why can't we see it? He's not asking for political position. If he wanted, they would have made him vice president. They would have given him money. He's not Bible. There is no price tag on his head. He doesn't fall to those gimmicks. He's better than Nyangodo. He's better than Professor Mwabwese. He's better than Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He's better than... I don't even like mentioning Minyo Somwike. If he chooses to be a man from the north, fine and good, this is right. People should stop saying that he's an Igbo man. He's not behaving like one because he's sabotaging the Igbos and asking the Northerners to come and pick them and go and lock them up there. So he's a Northern man. He's a Fulani man. That is by choice. It may not be by birth. So it's not an issue. When you see a person like Dave Umahi, who will I'm a little bit upset. What are you preaching as a minister of the gospel in Nigeria? It's only to take offering and tithe, give prophetic utterance that will expand and enlarge your ministry. You don't even care about the people. For your deacon in the church, they raped the the mother. They slaughtered the uncle. He's not happy. And you've not said anything about it. One day, oh pastor, they will rape your wife. Let me hear what you say. They will rape your daughter. They will kill your brother. Speak. We are not saying take guns and go and fight. But speak against injustice. Speak against lies and deceit. The northerner will come and take an Igbo girl, go to the north, abduct her, go there and start sleeping with her, pregnant her, she'll begin to give birth. Nothing will happen as if there's no law in the country. No Igbo man can speak on behalf of his people. Nnamdi Kanu came up with an idea on how we can get our self-esteem and respect. Let me give you a little history. When the war ended, let me tell you, I have a lot of Yoruba friends, very good friends. I like them. But let me tell you something. It was Awolowo that told Gowon that hunger is a legitimate weapon of war. And therefore told him to block the flanks, the Calabar, Port Harcourt axis, so that Biafrans cannot have supplies as to be sustained during the war. Nigeria did not win the war because they had good firepower or they had good soldiers. What killed the Biafrans mostly was hunger. They blocked the flanks in Cameroon and Port Harcourt. Those were part of the reasons why we lost the Bakassi Peninsula to Cameroon. Because it was not ratified by the National Assembly. When Gowon, that man Gowon, God will judge him and his generation forever. Now, when they shut off the flanks, Amadou Ahidjo was the president of Cameroon. And Gowon agreed with him, put a blockade that the Biafrans will not have supplies so that I can defeat these people. They agreed. But there was a condition attached to it. They were going to cede part of Nigeria, that is Bakassi Peninsula. Because when you go to Bakassi, there is what you call the Abana Beach. In Abana there, you have the Bakassi West. That is where the Nigerian soldiers are stationed. Bakassi at Atabon West. Then Atabon East is where the Cameroonian soldiers are stationed. In between them is the sea. I've been there. I went on evangelistic outreach to preach. I went into the hole where the field commander was, dug underground where they stay. And I interviewed the man. He told me that Abacha told him, I interviewed him personally. He told me that Abacha told him that before you start calling Dodan barracks, if Cameroon shoots one bullet, begin to fire. Don't even wait, don't make phone call. Start shooting. And that was how they were able to contain the excesses of the gendarmeries. and then recovered towns like Achibong, Jamestown, Abana, pushed them back because they had entered getting close to Oron. And so when that arrangement was made, because if you follow that Bakassi Peninsula, that Bakassi Peninsula, that is bounded by the east by Atabong west, Atabong east, west by Atabong west, that is Nigeria. If you go further down, there's a town called Obenikan where they sell, they do crayfish. All this crayfish you see, that is where it's usually gotten. I've been to that town called Obenikan. So when these things happen, the agreement was, I am going to cede this place to you for some time. For some time, because the Nigerian house was to ratify it, whether that land will be ceded to Cameroon entirely or returned back to Nigeria. They didn't, because they are so lazy and stupid and unreasonable. The Cameroonians were wise and smart. They waited until the time reached that they could not do that ratification. They now had to go International Court of Justice. And at the behest of Obasanjo's stupidity, he, when was being interviewed, said he was willing to concede the land if Nigeria loses that case. Abacha was not going to tolerate that. That is why I don't respect Obasanjo. Are you seeing? I have my reasons. And today, Cross River State has lost being an oil-producing state in Nigeria, courtesy of Obasanjo's carelessness in talking and Gowon's wickedness in a bid to hurt the Igbos. That's how we lost that land. And now Nnamdi Kanu is coming up with an idea on how to preserve the people from Cross River, Akwa Ibom State, River State, part of Kogi, and Delta States. And can you believe that his worst enemies, the people who are against him, are Ohanese and Igbos, some Igbo gospel ministers who don't care about human lives? What are you preaching when members of your church are saying they raped their mothers, they raped their sisters, they killed their brothers, their sisters, they took their farmlands, they burnt away their land, destroyed everything, cattle ravished, ate everything they had, their means of livelihood? Where are they going to pay the tithe from? Where are they going to give you the offering? You can't speak. It hurts me. I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, and I'm very, very angry. I believe in Biafra. I am a Biafran. I believe in Nnamdi Kanu is God sent. Just set ministry aside from what he's doing. Because for America to gain independence, they had to go to the street to fight. The same thing with Britain. The same thing with other nations of the earth. And when it comes to that of an Igbo man, I wonder why a Yoruba man should be against. So it was Awolowo that told Gowon, put hunger as a legitimate weapon of war. And number two, the next thing Awolowo did was he reduced our financial status, no matter how much you had, to mere 20 pounds in 1970. That every Biafran man will start from the scratch, giving the Yorubas a head start. I tell you, brethren, I was at Aba in 1973 when a Koha market got burnt. Within 3 years, the Igbos were importers of cars. Have you heard of Mike Merchandise, electronics dealer? He dealt in electronics. John Anyehi, he was importing cars, Toyota Crown. Within 3 years, they were at the forefront because that's the ingenuity of Igbo man. The Lord has blessed him. And the Nigerian man is afraid. Keep on suppressing the Igbo man so they wouldn't give him a chance. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. Let us build so that Nigeria, the other nations can benefit from it. Give us a chance. We can build our own defense system. We can build our own networks. We can build our own intelligentsia. Look at our army. The moment Nnamdi Kanu formed ESN, Eastern Security Network, everybody's shivering. Look at the volunteers. Look at the massive number of soldiers. I've never seen any people on earth follow one man like that. Because when the Germans followed Hitler, it was under intimidation. When the Chinese followed Chairman Mao Zedong, it was under intimidation. A lot of them were afraid of him. King Jong-un, they're following him because they're afraid of him. But Nnamdi Kanu's own, it is voluntary. People love him. They have seen somebody that is sincere, straightforward, truthful. And you, an Igbo man, you are sabotaging Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. You are not sabotaging Nnamdi Kanu alone. You are sabotaging the future of your children, your daughters, your sons, You're sabotaging your culture, your name, your person. Because when they overrun everything, they raise up Fulani sections in your villages and locality. Very soon they tell you your religion is not good. You have to adapt to their own. And that means they marry your daughters by force. According to Islamic doctrine, you are a second-class citizen. You are a vassal. If he's coming on the street, a Muslim is coming on the street, according to Islamic doctrine, you should not stand before him. You should give way, let him pass, because he's superior to you. Can you believe that? When you that is born again, you that serve God, you are the person that is of God, that is superior, and yet you don't show it. You walk in all humility to see if you can win them over to Christ. And an irresponsible man like Nyangodo and all those other stupid organizations under the aegis of whether Igbo, whatever, I don't care. If you don't fall behind Nnamdi Kanu, you're missing it, because all these years you had the opportunity, you never did anything. You are still talking about political leadership at a time when your people are always being annihilated. That was being killed, that was being removed. You are still talking about political leadership. Who is going to give it to you? Nobody will give it to you if you don't know. And if you don't like Biafra, fine, go ahead. Stop saying that the Eastern security network formed by Nnamdi Kanu is costing Igbo presidency. Oh my God, Ohaneze, stop that nonsense. You can go ahead with your thing. No Igbo support you. Anyone that chooses to support you is their business. But leave IPOB, leave Nnamdi Kanu alone. Let him run what God has shown him to run. And then when we are preaching the gospel. Because if they kill all Igbos, whom are you going to preach to in Aba? If all Igbos are forcefully converted to be Muslim, just Bagodim Kamaro. Because our women that were abducted after the war were taken to the north. Abgadina Heba, told him Hamwa by force. Nobody said anything. And those women now had children that have turned out to become vagabonds that try to kill us today. They have no regard for your culture. They have no regard for your feelings. And somebody, Nnamdi Kanu did not tell any pastor, take up gun and come and fight, follow me. He's just running his thing. People are supporting him. If you don't know what to say, keep quiet and stop speaking. You are the biggest sabotage in Igbo land. Ohanese is the biggest sabotage in Igbo land. The 5 Eastern governors are the biggest sabotages in Igbo land. Who doesn't know the history of Opus Adimma? You know his way back. Everybody knows him. He doesn't have the character which you can stand and look at his history and say, my son, look at how this man behaved. Follow his footsteps to become. You can't say that concerning Opus Adimma. You cannot say that. You can't even say that concerning Richard Okorocha. All of them have sold out. And one young man remained. He lost his father and his mother. They killed people. Because of him. They wanted to kill him. He was in jail for 2 years. And he stood his ground. And God is lifting him up, raising him up. The blindness of our ministers is that they cannot even see somebody who is speaking for the Igbo. He's not speaking for the gospel, no. He's speaking for the Igbo. These are two different things. That is why all these gospel ministers in Nigeria who cannot speak the truth, I don't like listening to them on Facebook. I'm so ashamed and disappointed. And that same goes for Igbo leaders. Within 3 years, the Biafrans were able to make money that when they call her, God burnt. The Igbos cried. They lamented over that thing. And yet, regardless of all the marginalization and suppression, the Igbos have risen to glorious heights that even the Yorubas acknowledge. Right now, we have one of the most popular personality that is coming out of Nigeria all around the whole world, an Igbo man. His name is Nnamdi Kanu. And the Yorubas are becoming wise. They went and picked this man, this guy who was is now for Odua People's Congress, who was a tout. They made him an apostle. What is his name? He's now the Are Onakakamfo of Yoruba land. What's that boy, young man's name? I've forgotten. The Yorubas went and picked him. The church called him and made him an apostle. The Yorubas made him the Are of Are Onakankafo. Are you saying? They made him. They are using their own brain to see what they can do to liberate their people, even though their modus operandi is not correct. Because one man cannot be an apostle and also be an aboro. But the point is, they took him in. They are defending him and helping him. They have formed Amotekun. The governors came out, took salute, did it. When he came to the east, the eastern governors, may God forgive your souls. Because whatever you are doing, whatever you are doing shall definitely affect your own children. They are against Nnamdi Kanu that he brought in the Eastern Security Network. And that network has the capacity of stopping Fulani invasion. Why are you against it? Maybe you're jealous that the man is far outgrowing you in popularity and respect. So what? It hurts me so much to understand that the Igbo leaders are sabotaging Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. It hurts me so much. It makes me feel bad. It hurts me to the very depth of my being. That you are not that you don't know the history. It is just that you are deliberately selfish and wicked. You are a seller. You will never get that presidency. Never. As long as the Zoo Republic Nigeria stands, you will never get the presidency. Go and fight it out. Go and try, do your best. You wouldn't. But I know someday that Biafra will materialize. That nation will come again. That has been. I know one day. Because when Martin Luther and others were fighting for the liberation of African Americans, it looked like they were just joking. But as time progressed, they began to build cloud. They began to build crowd. They began to build support. And it came to pass that today, the African American man can stand and speak and seek elective position and be recognized as a voice. One day Biafra will stand. I believe in it. And when that time happens, all those wicked Ohanese people, if somebody say you are being judgmental, they should be blacklisted, so that both them and their children will never, at least give them 50 years to handle any position in Biafran land. Because they are wicked. Their children are all grown up. They know all these things that their fathers are doing. They can't come out on TV and speak against their fathers. Nyamodo has grown up sons. Nobody can come out and tell his father now. When that time comes, you want us to forgive you and allow you to come and contest. All you gospel ministers who are working all your wayo and all these things, you are hoping. Some of you are standing on the fence. If Nigeria works, you stay in Nigeria. If Biafra works, you flow in Biafra. You cannot make a decision. I am a Biafran. That's what I am. If I preach the gospel, you don't like it, fine. But the point is, I tell you the truth. If you don't give your life to Christ, you will go to hell. That's the truth. I don't need the offering. I'm working. I don't need it. The Bible talks about offering. I don't need it. I'm working. God is going to keep me strong. I walk until, if the Lord tarries, I'll be alive till 120 years. I've spent 60 years now on earth. I have under 60 years more to complete. If the Lord tarries, I'll be alive till 120 before I die. If he doesn't tarry and come before then, oh, glory be to God, we'll go to heaven. If I die in the process of my faith, fine. So all these things people are doing in Nigeria, there in America, here some Igbos come to America, they don't want to go back to Igbo land, they keep talking nonsense. It was not the Igbos that brought the situation in Nigeria. It is bad governance from the east, from the southwest and from the north. The Igbos have never had opportunity for leadership. When you say the Igbos love money, who are those that ate Nigeria's money? It's not Igbo man. Who are those that run Nigeria's currency down? It's not Igbo man. Who are those that having oil blocks? It's not Igbo man. Where are you blaming the Igbo man now? What have we done? The Calabar port should be an export processing zone, just like in Dubai. The government has refused to develop it. They have refused to develop the Warri port. They have refused to develop, even Oron can be developed as a port. They have refused to develop Ikan in Calabar. They have refused to develop the inland waterways in Onitsha, the River Niger. Everything has been focused on Lagos, and now they are opening dry port in Daura, and a very inconsequential, nondescript ragtag of what do I call it? A ghetto is being made a dry port, and the Igbo man who is there in the authority cannot sit down and think. We have natural seaport in Port Harcourt. We have it in there's no international airport in the whole of the East. What has Katsina State got to offer in terms of economic activities that they have an international airport? What do they have? The bulk of the business come from the southwest and the southeast. What do others have? But they have all these things. You cannot get up and speak because you want to serve your Fulani master. Nnamdi Kanu is better than you. You all know it. All of you join together. Nnamdi Kanu is better than you. The only man who has stood up for Igbos was the Kemba. After him is this young man. And if you don't believe in him, it is to your own peril. Because what God has started, he's going to finish it. That's all I have to say. God bless you.
Thank you very much for listening to that voice. Man, it is too much for the Igbo governors and the Ohanes and Igbo. They have sacrificed us enough, and we are no longer going to present ourselves for the next sacrifice. Now they are going to use the head of their children to complete whatever they want to do. They are no longer going to kill us for any reason. They only want to put their political ambition ahead of everything they are doing, forgetting that our life is at stake. You also need to live. You guys have taken everything we have. You have taken our oil. There's no good road, no electricity, no good life amenity. Everything we're supposed to have is with you guys. Still, you are looking for our life. No, it's not going to happen. We are begging all the Biafrans to wake up. Wake up, it is too much. You see now, seriously, they are talking about this Eastern Security. But the good thing there is that their action is no longer like before. Before they will invite the soldiers to come and kill us, but now Eastern Security Network is, left them wondering what will happen if they invite soldiers into our land. So, man, the game has changed before their eyes. They can no longer kill us.